Hey guys, this is David here. I'm bringing another how-to lesson type of video again on how to drive a split transmission 6-speed, so that makes it 12 speeds forward, 2 speeds reverse. I'm driving a Ford F750 with air brakes, Caterpillar engine. Basically, I'm going to be driving this truck, splitting the gears empty, which is a pain in the butt. It's usually a lot easier when you're loaded, but I'll do it empty. I would kind of count them off and kind of go through on how it's done, but as I'm doing it, it's going to be too slow for me to do it because I have to do everything kind of fast. But just to give you an idea of how this works, I'm going to be taking off, so when I'm in first gear, I'll be in low range. Then as I'm on the throttle, I'll pull up on the button, let off on the throttle, it'll drop into gear, I'll go back on the throttle, that'll be second. While I'm on the throttle, I'll push down on the button, let off, pull out into neutral, kind of wait a second, it'll drop into low range axle, and then I'll pull down into third. I'll get on the throttle, pull up on the button, let off on the throttle, it'll drop down into fourth, and then so on and so on, all the way to 12 gears. But I might not be able to get up to 12 speed because I'll just be on a main road. I'm not going to be going that far. But at least it'll give you an overview on how to drive one of these split rear transmissions. Alright, let's go. You can hear the button clicking in as I go through the gears. Push down, pull back, and into gear. Up on the button, over, up into the next gear. Now I'm in high range, right here. So, as I'm going down, I'll wait till you can see again as I'm going under a bridge. I'm on high range, so I'm going to push down on the button. Actually, I'm coming to a traffic light, so we're going to give it some throttle, pull up on the RPMs, pull down, engine brake on, do it again, and then to a stop. Now I'm in high range, so I gotta click back down into low range. But this time, instead of starting off in first gear, low, I'm gonna actually start off in second gear, low. So I'm actually in third gear right now. So once the light turns green, we're gonna go. Now we're going. Up on the button, push down on the button. Button into neutral, then back up into gear. You can drive these trucks, which is a lot easier, especially when you're unloaded, in either high range or low range. So we're going to do that now. I'm in high range, we're going to come to a turn. I'm just going to pull down. We're going to make the turn. You do not shift these trucks in the turn. Get out of the turn, and we're going to drop down into another gear. Come up, you can leave the button up. You're coming down, I'm not using the clutch. Coming to a turn, do not shift these trucks, especially unloaded through a turn, in the rain or the snow. Coming out of the turn, we're going to downshift. Here we go. I'm still in high range. It's extremely easy to shift these trucks without the clutch. It's very, very easy. Okay, we're coming to a turn, so I'm going to downshift before the turn, hit the engine brake, or this is actually an exhaust brake. Difference being, exhaust brakes, you should be able to hear it. It's actually stuffing up the exhaust pipe with a big baffle. We're going to downshift. Going to downshift again. No clutch. Getting onto the highway. Exhaust brake. Now you can downshift with this too. This button right here, I'm going to push down, and then there we go. Now we're in low range, and I'm still shifting. You can jump from gear to gear, like if you don't want to go from, say, second to third, you could go second to fourth, second to fifth, but you have to be very precise on your speed, knowing the truck or the vehicle you're driving, because you can get yourself into some problems with that, missing gears. We're in low range now, so what I'm going to do is, when I'm down in the upper gear here, we're going to go to 12. So I'm going to pull up, let go, now we're in 12. I'm going to make this turn, so I'm going to downshift again. We're going to come to a stop. Now maybe I'll just leave it up into high gear, high axle. We're going to go. Turn this corner, shift. It's still in high, so you can pretty much come up with any combination for this transmission and rear end that you want. You could start off in first high, second low, which is actually third. I wouldn't suggest second high, which would be fourth. That would kind of ride your clutch a little bit, but you can do it, I guess. So we're gonna go. Let's split one. Split one again. Split one again. Every time you hear a click, that's the button going up or going down. Now we're just gonna leave it in high and shift. Basically, we just skipped a gear. We're going to skip a gear again. I'm going to leave it in high axle. This whole time, I'm not using my foot. I'll leave my foot right here, actually. There you go. Very simple. Very simple. I know in the Fast and Furious, they were saying, not granny shifting, not double clutching. What a bunch of baloney. If you ever said that in a real drag race, I think they would take you and stuff you in a garbage can upside down, because you don't belong there. This is double clutching was only meant for twin stick trucks. You have a stick here and a stick here. This stick would be shifting through the actual gears. This stick would actually be for your high and low transmission or your rear end, which basically this modern technology, this button replaced. So when you hear the term double clutching, the people are very old that are saying it, and they know they literally drove like this. They'd have to hold the steering wheel and drive like this, or they don't know what the hell they're talking about, because you never double clutch in one of these trucks And you certainly don't do it in a small car, like a Subaru, a Honda, a Toyota. Forget about it. You'd be laughed at. So we're gonna come to a turn, we're gonna downshift. I'll hit the engine brake. I'll give you an idea on a double clutch. I'll do it right over here because I gotta come to kind of a stop. Alright, so this is basically what a double clutch would be. You'd start going, you'd push the clutch in, you pull a neutral, you let out the clutch, you push the clutch in again, you pull it into gear. Way too much friggin' work. Oh my god, your leg would fall asleep by the time you're done getting to the next town. Forget about it. This is a lot easier. No foot. Just grab the shifter, let off the gas, pull into neutral, let it do its thing, pull it right down into gear. Same thing with downshifting. You're basically going to watch your RPMs, bring them up, put pressure on the stick, bring the RPMs up, and it's going to drop down into gear. Most people overthink themselves when they're trying to do this, especially when they're downshifting. When you're downshifting, you're just feeling what the transmission is doing. You apply a little pressure. When it wants to let it in, it'll let it in. Split one. Split another one. Whoops. Little too hard on the push. I pushed it through the gate. Buttons down. Foot is still on the throttle. Press up, let off, and now we're into the next gear. It's as simple as that. We'll get under this bridge and then I'll show you what's next. So basically here, you're going to basically push it down while you're still on the throttle. Let off the throttle, come into neutral, kind of pause a little bit, and then you pull down into your next gear. Downshifting would be the same way, just reverse. You're going up with the RPMs, not down. So I'm going to let off the throttle, into neutral, put a little pressure. I'm putting pressure. Bring it up. See how it just slid right in? That's because you got to bring the RPMs up nice and smooth, not fast. Bring them up nice and smooth, it'll drop in. Okay, guys? So that's it for this edition of how to drive without a clutch. Alright, guys? I hope you learned something. Have a good day.